Now it's time to pick out their hooves. As with everything we do around horses, safety is our #1 priority. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to where they are and what they're doing. You also want to make sure that you keep your feet far enough away from their hooves so they don't accidentally step on you. If you've ever had your toes stepped on before, you know that it hurts just a little bit. So when I ask him to pick up his front leg, I'm going to stand at his shoulder facing his bum. I'm going to run my hand down the back of his leg, past his knee to right above his fetlock. And I'm going to ask him to come up with that leg and hold it. If the horse needs to shift or readjust, if you can do it safely while holding the leg, go ahead and let him do it. If you need to, put that foot down, readjust them to where they're square or close to square, and then go back and ask for that hoof again. When I put the hoof down, I want to make sure that my feet are far enough out from underneath that I'm not going to get stepped on, and I'm going to guide that hoof to the ground and let him set it down. Now that I have his hoof picked up, now it's time to clean it out. I want to make sure that I stay away from his frog, which is the central part of the hoof right here. I want to clean down through the frog grooves, which is the grooves on either side of his frog. Once the hoof is cleaned out, you can see how they create a V in the hoof. I always want to make sure that I pick from the heel to the toe. On the off chance that he were to do something silly or I were to do something silly, I could stab him with the hoof pick. So I always want to make sure I pick from the heel down to the toe. You can do some light scraping on the sole to get any dirt, any twigs, anything that's going to be in that hoof. If you are a little obsessive compulsive and you want to clean that hoof with the brush, you can just run the brush over the top of the hoof and make sure that it's nice and clean and there's nothing stuck in that hoof that we don't want him walking around with. Now that we have his front legs picked out, now it's time to move on to the hind legs. I'm going to stand with my shoulder next to his bum. This way I can feel any movement, left or right, forwards or backwards, through my shoulder that he's going to give me. I'm going to run my hand down the back of his leg, over his hock, down to right above the fetlock. Give just a little squeeze on that tendon and ask him to pick it up. I'm going to tuck my leg underneath his leg to help hold up this big rump of his that he's got. Some people, if you've ever had the chance to see your horse's hooves getting trimmed, this is a hold that farriers will use in order to trim their feet. So this is what I call the farrier's hold. If you find the right spot, you can get the leg to just sit there and hang out for you. When it's time to put the foot down, I'm going to reach under his hock, support his leg, step out from underneath, and set it down. If by some chance you're going to pick up your horse's hoof and they want to kick out, if you have your leg underneath and supporting in that farrier's hold, chances are they will kick straight back out and you can back away and get out of the way. If you're afraid that your horse is going to cow kick or kick forward while you're picking up that hind leg, give yourself enough room, go nice and slow, and make sure that you keep yourself in the safest place possible in order to get that hind hoof picked up and cleaned out. Now that we've got his hind leg picked up, it's time to clean the back hoof. Again, I want to make sure that I stay only in the frog grooves and clean down through the hoof. I don't want to stab him in his frog because that's the soft, sensitive part of his hoof. Again, I'm going to do some light scraping on his sole, which is this big, hard area around the frog. I want to make sure that his feet are clear of any debris, any gunk, so that I don't have to worry about him trotting around or walking around with me on his back, or just walking around in general and having any problems with his hoofs.